Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We are here with another day of our week with Regency Park Suite. You can watch day one for all the products that were used. Just real quick, we are using the Regency Park Suite, which is on page 30 of the January through April 2023 mini catalog. And this project, as you'll see in the tutorial, had a little hiccup. Okay. I wanted to use the 12 by 12 shimmer paper, which I did not open the shimmer paper until I did the tutorial. And the shimmer paper was not thick enough to hold what I wanted to hold in here. And so I had to use an old foil paper. It's a Stampin' Up! Foil paper, but it's old. Okay, so you'll see that. For my prototype, I used basic black, and then I realized I was out of basic black. So for this project, you're going to need one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, basic black or basic white or whatever color you have. You're going to need this Nescafe cold brew latte. I got it at Dollar Tree. They're really good. It's just a latte. And you're going to need your collection. I used one sheet of the 6x6 paper to do that. And I used a little panel of basic white. The stamps. Super cute, right? And the gems. So you just open it up. This one's a little bit harder. The foil paper is not forgiving like the regular paper. And you have your cold brew in there. Alright, so the first 17 minutes or so is just working on the stamping and the panel. If you want to fast forward to the box tutorial, I think it's like 18 minutes in or something like that. But this will show you how to do the two stamps. So you have on the leaves and the flowers, you have the outline dies and the inside dies, outline inside. So you're using two different inks. So if you want to watch that, you know, obviously watch it all the way through. But if you just want to know how to make the box, fast forward. It will not hurt my feelings at all. I think this is a gorgeous box. If you are putting a light snack in here, like if you're going to do a hand lotion, or I know it's not a snack, but a hand lotion, or Hershey Kisses, or hard candies, you know, something light, you can definitely use the 12 by 12 shimmer paper. It's just for what I needed it for, the paper did not work. Alright, so here's the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to start with the panel, the white panel. For me, it was easier to use my Stamparatus because, as you can see, you get it exact. This was just the piece of scratch paper, and I was determining kind of where I wanted my placement and which stamp was easier to align. So what I found out is that the stamp with the most detail, the one that's up here, stamp that first and then align this stamp over it. Okay, so with the Stamparatus, I have two plates, and so I can do both on there. So what you want to do is cut you a piece of basic white, which measures 1 7/8 by, let's see here, 1 7/8 by 5 1/8, and that gives you the 1/8 of an inch border. Obviously cut yours to your preferred border. You're going to put it in your Stamparatus. Oh, I am using the Stamparatus paper. It comes in a whole pack, so you get this big pack here. It has a lot of sheets in it. It has Imperial on one side and metric on the other, so it's great, especially when you're watching any other country other than the United States and they're doing theirs in metric. You can follow along. because the paper trimmer is also in metric. Alright, so 1 7/8 by 5 1/8. I'm going to go ahead and ink up, you know what, let me, alright. I'm actually using Mossy Meadow for the outline dies. Now, once you get your outline die and your inside die set on your stamparatus, it doesn't matter which one you stamp first, but your very first time, you definitely want to do your outline die. Set that up first. Alright, so that's just where I want it. Like so, and it looks like my ink is good, so I don't need this ink anymore. And then I'm going to take my old olive and I'm going to just tap, tap, tap on the top. Excuse my arm. And I'm just going to pull it down. And it should be pretty much exact. Okay, I'm going to lift it to see if I need any more ink, which, nope, it looks great. Alright, so I'm good with my stamparatus. I can go ahead and put that away. Okay, so we're going to set our stamparatus up the same exact way that we did for our leaves with our flowers. I'm using these two here. We're going to punch them out, so you just need a piece of scratch paper. It doesn't matter what the measurements, a piece of scratch, basic weight. The two colors I'm going to use for my flowers, I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink. If I had Sweet Sorbet, I would use Sweet Sorbet, but I don't. Alright, so again, the placement really doesn't matter on the paper. I just want, you know, the two-step to be perfect. So we're going to go ahead and use our darker color for the outline. Tap, tap, tap. Got a little messy with that one, but that's okay. And give it a little pressure. And I think that's perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to come in. I was just checking if I got one of the in colors from my paper pumpkin, but I didn't, so that's okay. I think this will still look really pretty. I guess it would help if I had the stamp set right. So what I'm going to do is line this up as best as I can. Even if it's off again, you know, it'll be fine. Okay. And, ooh, look at that. I made a mess. That's okay. Oh, you can't even see it on camera, but there's ink on my magnet. Alright, so tap, tap, tap. And a little pressure. Okay, I love that. So we're good on that. So clean our stamps, put them away, put our ink away. Okay, and just a little reminder that your pinks and your reds are absolutely going to stain your stamps. You can't really see it on here because my lighting is correcting it, but my stamp is pink. I don't know why, but that's what it does. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this out. And you can add your Wink of Stella. Oh, the other thing is, before you can close your stamparatus, you do have to remove one of the plates. You cannot close it with both of them in there, or you break your hinge. Don't try, because it will break. Okay, so you know what? Let me go ahead and put these stamps away because they'll go missing. Make sure you put your detailed one with your detailed one. Okay, so there we go. All right. I'm going to come in with my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to give these little flowers a little shimmer. You can use, you know, if you have the the shimmer effects. You can use those. You can use anything you have. Okay. I'm probably going to put some gems in the middle, so right now I'm not going to worry about the middle while that dries. I am going to take my punch, whatever I did with it. Well, I thought I was going to take a punch and punch this out. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and line it up as best as we can. Always give yourself some extra room when you're doing a stamp like this. If you forget to give yourself some extra room, all you have to do is take any random strip of paper and just adhere it to the side with like a tape runner. Just like a little tiny dab will do you, like that much, not even, you know, anything to write home about. And now you have something you can hold on to when you're lining it up. And that works with any punch. It's a good trick. Okay, so we're good with that. Okay, and so mine, I was a little bit off with my punching. I'm okay with that. You can go ahead and trim it out, which I think I'm going to do. Or you can just restamp and repunch. I just honestly don't feel like restamping and repunching. So I'm just going to trim some of this white off. I kind of recognized it was going to be off when I punched, but at that point it was already too late. So just trim as much of it as you want. It doesn't look bad even with that extra white. It was too much. So there we go. This one's fine. That one's fine. Okay, so now you're just going to decide where you're going to place your flowers. That's just kind of how I want mine. I am going to pop my flowers on dimensionals. You can use the mini or the large. I have my large right here. I just couldn't find my minis. Just want my flowers to have a bit of dimension since my leaves are flat. Now you can do some, like, you know, your big flower, you can pop it up, and then your little flowers, you can leave them flat, or, you know, however you want. Actually, yeah, I did like it how it was. Just kind of not quite overlapping, but right up to each other. And then I'm going to tuck this one in here like so. So I really like that. Now, oh, you know what? We probably should have stamped before. I probably should have stamped before I put my flowers down. But that's okay. That is okay. I'm going to use thanks, because I'm using this. I need this as a thank you gift. I wish it said thank you, but it says thanks. So I'm going to do the thanks up here. And I want to do, I could do thanks dear friend, or I can do thanks you are amazing. I'm going to do you are amazing again. I just really like that. Like, hey, you're amazing. Right? All right. I think that is going to be just absolutely gorgeous, right? Okay. I am going to stamparatus it. Let me get it back out. And actually, I'll keep the camera rolling so you can really see how easy it is just to, I just have it in my drawer next to my desk. I have like the Alex drawers from IKEA. So I just pulled it out. It's no big deal to me. Alright, the only thing that's going to be tough is if I want to do both sayings at the same time, I'm going to have to place my magnets like this, making sure my card is straight where I want it to be. You know what, I'm going to come down on this line. Again, I'm using my same grid paper here. I'm going to put that there, and where's my thanks? And I'm going to place my thanks. Typically, I'm not a timid stamper, so I would just hand do this, but it's kind of late, and I'm a little tired, so I don't want to make any mistakes. So Stamparatus. And you see the Stamparatus does not take but 2 seconds to pull out the drawer, so... Alright, I'm going to use... Should I use Flirty Flamingo? Or... The person I'm giving this to is not really into, like, pink. But... But I think it'll be fine. Alright, so I'm just going to do... I'm doing Flirty Flamingo. So I'm just going to ink up both stamps at the same time. Tap, 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 tap. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure my paper didn't slip or slide or bubble up or do whatever paper wants to do. Look at that. Gorgeous. I love it. So I do want to add... oh my gosh, I can't get this. I'm trying to close the ink pad. I do want to add some more little splotches, but I don't need my Stamparatus for that, so I'm going to clean it and put it away. Okay, so I'm using the little speckles, which are these little things right down here. See on the cover, you can see better that right there. I just want to tap the ink on my hands. Okay, just want to tap lightly, and then just add a few little extra sprinkles here and there. I think that's enough. Yep, that's it. Just was missing just a little something, and then that's perfect. Okay, well worth it. And then we can add our gems. So you can add your gems now, or if you don't want to add gems to, you know, cut down on costs, you can always color the middles and add Wink of Stella, or, you know, if you have like glitter gel drops or whatever you have, and if you don't want to use up your gems, you can do that. But I'm going to go ahead and use my gems. I'm going to use the Mango Melody. No, I'm going to use the soft pink ones. I mean, you can mix and match if you want. The white ones will look good in here as well. Okay, so I'm just adding the gems on there with the take your pick tool. You could go crazy. You can add more gems on the outside. You can add basic jewels, whatever you want. Whatever your style is. You can add ribbon with the, you know, obviously with the ribbon that comes with it. It would look really nice on there, but that's what I'm going to add. So I'm going to go ahead and get my other panels ready. They're all going to be at 5 1/4, so I'm just going to cut it at 5. Excuse me. Was it 5 1/4? I think so. Well, it's going to be the tick mark before 5 1/4. So 5 1/8. It's going to be 5 1/8. So I'm going to cut my 6x6 paper down to 5 1/8. Save these little strips. You can use it for something else. I'm going to rotate my paper so the 6-inch side is at the top, and I'm going to cut my paper at 1 7/8. and 1 7/8, and 1 7/8. Okay, there you go. So now I have 4 panels to go on my box. Now I know we just used 17 minutes to make the panels, but that's fine because the box is super quick. Okay, so go ahead and get your 12 by 12 sheet of shimmer paper. I'm going to go ahead and use the Balmy Blue because I think that's going to look gorgeous, because you get Balmy Blue, Shaded Spruce, and Basic White, which the white kind of looks a little pearlized. So that looks really good. I don't know if you can see it. My light just turned everything yellow. So, I don't know. I did buy an Alt Light. I just haven't opened it yet. Oh, this is kind of thin. So I did my prototype with regular cardstock. I didn't realize that this is very, very thin, and it is not going to hold the coffee at all. There's no way. Because remember, the coffee is heavy, and this is very thin. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So now we're going to have to switch to our basic white or basic black, whichever one you have. So let me grab mine. Okay, so note to self, check your paper first before you do a tutorial. But as you can see, I just go for it. And unfortunately, I am completely out of 12 by 12 basic black and 12 by 12 basic white. So I'm going to use this piece of paper. This is the back side. This is an old foil paper from Stampin' Up. This was called Grapefruit Grove. So it is awesome, but obviously with my lighting it's going to look crazy, so we're going to do it on the back. It is the same color as Petal Pink for the most part, so that's what I'm going to use. So use what you have. If you're going to use it for, you know, candies like Hershey Kisses or hard candies or whatever, you can definitely use the 12 by 12 shimmer paper. It's just not thick enough to hold a can of cold brew. You know, obviously this is heavy, but it will hold, if you know, you put some, like I said, hard candy, Hershey Kisses, maybe a hand lotion, you know, stuff that's not super heavy, it'll be just fine. But for me, it is not fine. So, all right. So we need a piece of paper that is 10 by 11 1/4. So let's go. I'm going to do my 11 1/4 first. I'm going to save this paper. And then I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to cut it at 10. Okay. Save that paper. Okay. You can use your scoreboard or you can use your paper trimmer. On the short side, so put the 10-inch side at the top, whether you're using your paper trimmer or your scoreboard or your paper trimmer, doesn't matter. Just make sure the 10-inch side is at top, and you are going to score it at 2. Four. See where this is going? 6. And 8. Okay. 2, 4, 6, and 8. Rotate it so now the 11 1/4 inch side is at top, and we're going to score it at 1, and 3. You need to do that on both sides. So you can do 1 and 3, rotate your paper, do 1 and 3 again. That's the easiest way for this particular box, because the other way it's like 8 1/4 and 10 1/4, but it's not exact. So just do 1 and 3 on both sides. Okay. So you should have paper that looks like this. And let's see if I can get some light down here. Oh, it's going to give me a shadow. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and varnish. Now, I'm not going to varnish mine only because the side that I want to use obviously is going to throw my camera and your eyes into a fit. So I'm going to varnish off screen here just a little bit so you can see my lines. Definitely do not want to cause any type of fits. Okay. All right. Okay, here's a fun fact. I didn't know that I varnished so hard that I took some of the foil off the paper. I didn't realize I varnished that hard, but apparently I do. That's okay. That's why my box are always crisp. All right, so you're going to put your paper where the 1-inch score line is at the top, and then that's the 3-inch. So the short side on top. And actually, no, I'm sorry. Put your 1-inch to the left and to the right. This is really your preference. Okay, so I know I don't need, this is the same box that I do all the time. I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need that. I don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all those off. I wish I would have known I was going to use this paper because my flowers actually could have been punched out in this paper and added to the back. I may still do that. Okay. So now you have your weird little thing that looks like this. We're going to go ahead and cut up on these 2 score lines. Like so. So you have something that looks like this. Now the left and the right boxes are going to be your tabs. So I'm going to cut off the whole first inch of a box and like half of the other one. You can precisely measure that or just cut it. Okay. That's it. And do the same on this side. What I was thinking when I paused, for a second there, I couldn't remember if I miter my corners or not, in which I do. So see, even though I make a million boxes, sometimes I forget. So I'm going to go ahead and miter these corners just a smidge, not too much. And that's just taking that little chunk off. Each side. Just on the left and right tabs. Leave the middle tab alone for right now. And then we're going to go ahead and miter these corners. And I am going to cut a sliver off there. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take my corner rounder. And I'm going to round my corner using the 1/4 inch one. Now you can decorate now if you want, or you can just do it at the end because your box does lay flat. So, sorry, I have to add glue here. I never worked with this foil paper, so I don't know if wet glue is better or tape would be better. I don't know. I'm going to find out. And just glue your box over. That's it. See how your box is flat so you can still decorate however you want. Now close your box up. Now my flaps are still a bit long, but that's okay. I mean, you can determine if you would like shorter flaps. Mine just kind of overlap each other. I'm okay with that. My box is struggling because I did not cut enough off of my score line, so I'm just going to take and cut this tiny, tiny little 1/16 of an inch sliver, just so my box is a little bit easier sliding in and out. Okay, there you have it. Your box is done. That's why I waited to the end to do the box. Now we're just going to go ahead and decorate the box. So this is my front with my 2 tabs. I'm going to go ahead and put that. Oh, that is just gorgeous on there. I am so happy we had to use that other paper. It's white, so tape runner. I hope tape runner. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use tear and tape because I feel like that's just going to be stronger on that gold foil. Or whatever grapefruit grove it's supposed to be. Okay. I think this just makes me feel a little bit better. That paper is so old, I can't remember the tips and tricks for it. There might not even been any, but like I said, it's very old. Okay. My box doesn't matter what's the top, what's the bottom. Actually, it does, because this has a little scratchy, so that's going to be my bottom. And see, this is why we hoard paper, all right? Okay, so that is completely not straight. Okay, well, that's going to have to stay because that tear and tape really stuck down to it. It's okay. It still looks good, even though it's a little crooked. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my other panels. I'm going to go ahead and glue my other panels. You can definitely see the glue marks in this paper. I don't know because my glue is still wet, but look at the glue marks. So I'm glad I'm covering that up. I don't know why that irritates me so much, but it does. Okay, making sure those are straight. And here we go. So this grapefruit paper is no longer in the catalog, so before you ask me, it's not there. But there are some great alternatives that as soon as I get these panels on, I will show you. There's a gorgeous gold paper that I think would look really good with this as well. Okay. So my box is done. I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to get my catalog. Okay, so on page 139 of the annual catalog, you have your specialty papers. You have your rose gold, which I think that would be beautiful. You have your brushed metallics, which you have copper, gold, and bronze. Your silver foils, so you could do kind of, you know, some silver or some black, which it's actually all silver, but it comes in brushed finish, matte finish, and mirrored foil finish. And then you have your regular foil sheets, which are copper and gold. Now, I don't know how thick these are, as the only one I've worked with was the copper sheet, but mine was from like 2010 or whatever. You know, it was from a long time ago that I kept and never used. So if these are thin, what you can do is just make the box out of your basic black or basic white, and then add panels, and then add your designer paper on top of it, right? So when I was getting my catalog, I was not happy with my Cricut panel, and so I took my heat gun, heated it up, and very carefully peeled the tape off, peeled my panel off, and I made it straight. The glue is fine, the wet glue. I also cut down my my flaps. I just really felt it needs to be cut down. And I'm going to go ahead and add a finger pull to mine. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Alright, so that's what I did. Again, you can add more gems, whatever you want. I'm going to add my coffee. This would be a great teacher's Valentine or teacher's week or your nurse's week or whatever. So it is, she a little thick, I'm not going to lie. So, oh, it did compromise my, the foil paper is not forgiving, but when I have the coffee in just like the basic black, it is very forgiving. Okay. That's okay. I'm okay with this little line there. But anyway, so that's my project, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.